Okay, to be honest, I don't actually know really what this is. It's the Yawman, and I think this is probably what it looks like. From what I understand, I believe this is supposed to be basically, whoa, okay, there it is, just like that. You just open it up, and there it is. That's the Yawman. I was actually expecting it to be a different color. It's kind of like an off-white. I'm not sure if it was showing in the video because we kind of have some colored light in my room, but wow, it's extremely light. Does it need batteries? Like, I feel like it feels hollow, like it's empty. Definitely all plastic. Definitely all plastic. So you can actually pull this in and out, I guess, if you want to use it like as a throttle or a mixture or something like that. I feel like you might want one more of these in case you have a constant prop for a third prop, but okay. And then over here we have a couple probably throttles. You would use this most likely as a throttle. Both of these, that's pretty cool. All right, and then here it's kind of like a four-way hat switch. It might be an axis. We'll test this in the sim and see. And then we have definitely a full axis here, kind of like with a very cylindrical like top. Again, all plastic. I don't have any there's no like soft. It's all like basically the exact same material. It's not very soft. It's kind of hard, but you can also push this in. And then here we have these arrows going 4 directions, and you have this as well. So that's pretty cool. And this, okay, cool. This one also presses in. That's pretty nice. And then you have these 6 buttons here. Again, also unmarked. So not sure if there's any stickers or anything in here. We have some instructions with a QR code. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we have a little bit of instructions here of what everything is. So yeah, okay, that's a trim wheel on there. We have 5-way hat switch, some vernier poles, thumbstick, USB connection, bumpers, link triggers. Okay, cool. That's interesting. Okay, so look at the triggers here. So the triggers, these are very unique triggers. Look at this. You press one of them, and it actually, so I'm assuming this is probably supposed to be rudder pedals. So when you press one, the other one goes the opposite direction. Look at that. That's kind of cool. And there's my dog. You want to try? How's it smell? Is it good? Is that good quality right there? On the back right there, made in the USA. I know it's important to some people, so that's cool. And we also have these bumper switches here up at the top, and that's again where your USB will go. So I'm very interested. This is very unique. I've never seen anything like this before, but it makes sense. I know not everyone can afford or get access to a full control set, like a yoke or a throttle, and this could definitely be a nice alternative to just kind of having something small and maybe even on the go. Say you're on your laptop or in the hotel room and you don't necessarily want to bring your entire setup. So this could actually be a good option for that, to actually enjoy various flight sims. I mean, there's nothing else for us to do here but try to plug it into the sim and see how practical this is. All right, we're loaded up in Microsoft Flight Sim here in Blue Canyon to try out the Yawman. We'll see how it is. Haven't done any setup yet. We're just gonna see how it works out of the box. I do know that there is some updates that need to be made for Microsoft to incorporate some of the special features and whatnot. But my first complaint so far is the USB cable here is just too short. Again, I hope that they supply customers with a much longer USB cable, depending on how far you're sitting from your computer or device. So sit ready to fly. So the brakes are released. Let's see if we can get this thing in the air. So this is our throttle here. We'll push our throttle forward, and then we'll start using those rudder pedals on the back, which is working really well, I have to say. All right, airspeed is alive. Just a little bit of left rudder, which is the left trigger. And as I push the left trigger, the right trigger is actually pushing out, which is pretty cool. All right, let's see how I can do this at the same time. It's kind of, ooh, okay, all right. I still got a little bit of rudder in to counteract for the crosswind we got here in Blue Canyon. And we are up. So the throttle was all the way up. That's good to go. We can look to our right here with this here. That's pretty sweet. Let's go ahead and roll to the left. And I have to say, the actual analog stick here, the one on my left, the axis is very, very smooth. It really is very, very smooth. It was a little bit weird. Maybe I just wasn't ready for it on takeoff. Let's go to the outside view here. You can kind of see my inputs. I don't know which one of these buttons is for flaps. No idea. But you can see it's not very twitchy. I mean, kind of going up and down. I mean, I guess you could probably change the sensitivity if you find yourself getting way too twitchy. But you can see me here now. I mean, we're flying. We're flying. The real trick is going to be how do we land? So let's just see if we can glide it in. See if we can put it into a bit of a slip and lose some speed. Oh yeah, look at that. Check that out. All right, to the left. Yeah, we're way too fast. Way too fast. Yeah, this is gonna take some getting used to. Yeah, I have no muscle memory of any of this. This feels so different. You know, I have to be honest. This is something I really was not expecting to come to the flight sim community, and I'm really surprised at just how well it works. All right, that's traffic up ahead, and we're getting a little low as well as we're about to turn our left base to final back into Chicago. But just look at how smooth this is flying, you know. And I can look around with this little analog stick here, or this axis I should say. It just feels nice. Let's go ahead and add some power. We're getting a little slow, but I think a couple of key elements in this design is obviously the most important one, which is the flight controls, the yoke, which is on my left of the joystick, you could say, as we get buzzed by, looks like an A320. The throttle control as well, being able to have fine control over your throttle movement, and it stays there. Like, it doesn't, you don't move it up and it goes back to center. Like, it's actually a slider that goes up and down, and wherever you leave it, that's where it is, right? So I think that's a key element of this this controller, as well as the rudder pedals. I think a lot of people who are just getting the flight sim don't have rudder pedals at all, and so the rudder pedals are so valuable in any type of setup. Let's go ahead and bring that power back. We'll drop the gear and make sure our flaps are down as well. I'm also surprisingly finding it fairly easy to control the aircraft with the controller, while at the same time controlling my mouse as well to do other things in the cockpit. So you can still use your mouse. I would recommend, you know, try to map as many things as possible so you don't have to use a mouse. But, you know, there's some things that you may not be able to map. I think it has like about 20 buttons if I remember. But a lot of great opportunities. Go ahead and keep that power in now as we're coming in for a final. And we'll see if we can get a nice smooth landing here. All right, pull up a little bit. Yeah, this is really nice. This is actually really nice. All right, we are a little high. Actually, we got too white, too red from what I can see right here on screen. And we can add some trim in. Yeah, trim that out, trim that out, trim that out. Now you can't really control the trim and the yoke at the same time, so you want to kind of get a bit stable there and trim that. It's making it a little better. All right, we're low, we're low, we're low. Pull up. Fix the camera here. Power back, power back, power back. Not bad. That nose up, nose up, nose up, nose up, nose up. All right, we're down. All right, we kind of forgot the flare, but we got her down. And I can tell you, with some practice, you could definitely get used to this. And I think a lot of people are gonna say, hey, this is gonna be a controller for the arcade gamer type of flight simmer. I actually disagree. I do actually disagree, because there's a lot of people, I've learned, there's a lot of people out there who, you know, they love aviation, they know a lot about aviation, and, you know, they want to be hardcore simmers as well. It's just that they don't necessarily have the means to have an entire setup at their home. Like, maybe you travel a lot, but you still want to enjoy flight sim. Maybe you have a laptop or something like that you want to sim on while you're out of town or whatever. I think this is going to be a great option for those who are on a laptop where you travel a lot and you want to have a good flight control experience. You can see Russell, especially my first time taxiing with it. So trying to do that. But it's actually working pretty well as well. All right, we're now in X-Plane 12, and as you can see, it does recognize it. And anytime you plug in a new piece of hardware into X-Plane, you have to calibrate it. So we hit calibrate now, and we can now move all of our axes to make sure that they are indeed calibrated. So we got our yaw, our throttle, our prop, our mixture, all that stuff is now in there. We can hit next and hit next again. Let that center all of our controls. Once that is complete, we can hit finish. And now we can see by default, actually, which is actually really surprising to me, it already kind of has its default mappings, which is really, really nice. Again, you could obviously customize these as you please, but these are automatically mapped into X-Plane, which is pretty sweet. Okay, here we are in the trusty dusty Cessna 172 in X-Plane 12, and we can see our flight controls as I move them here on the joystick are free and correct. We could add in throttle, we could take out throttle, again, very, very smooth. We got rudder inputs as well, which is always a good thing to see. We got our mixture lean, which is good. Let's go ahead and take off and put a lot of right rudder. Need a lot of that right rudder here in X-Plane. So you can see me pushing the rudder pedal, trying to keep the aircraft on the runway best I can, using a lot of force to keep the aircraft in the center, but still able to. There we go, 60 knots, and we'll start slowly pulling back on the yoke here. There we are up. And again, now that I've kind of gotten used to how much force is required to get the aircraft up and get it turning, I'm not as twitchy as I was the last time we were flying in Microsoft Flight Sim. So we're gonna remain in the pattern here once again, but it looks like everything is working by default. I did not need to map anything, but X-Plane is honestly the easier flight sim to do custom mappings, but everything seems to be working pretty fine so far. Rudder is feeling great, throttle's feeling great. I'm gonna try to level off here once again, trying to test out the trim. See if we can get the aircraft close to a nice straight and level trim here. I know that some people may want to use these arrow keys as their trim up and trim down. You could obviously do that as well. I'm pretty sure it's pretty easy to set up. It's just just set up a custom mapping and you're good to go. So we'll pull our power back as we're on a left downwind, and we'll get ready to make our approach back into the airport. All right, here we come on final. And I'm gonna use a bigger runway because I'm definitely going to need it. Let's go power, power, power as an extended center line here. A little bit of wind. It's a bit turbulent as well, so we'll see how all of that pans out. But we're looking pretty solid, landing on 17 right here at David Wayne Hooks Airport. And let's go ahead and bring it back. Oh, we definitely flopped it down there. But rudder. Yeah, it's gonna take some getting used to for sure, the application of that rudder pedal. It's definitely, it's ergonomic for sure. Like, everything is where it needs to be in order to work at the same time, but it just takes some time to get used to it. But there we are, quick test flight in X-Plane. You may be wondering, why would I ever need a flight sim controller? And honestly, you probably don't. If you're asking yourself that question, you probably don't need a flight sim controller. But I think a lot of people out there are gonna find and see the value in this very, very fast. I know that back when I first started flight simming, all I had was a MacBook Pro and a dinner tray table. And so something like this, I would have loved back then. But even now, I'm actually really surprised at how functional and it just makes sense, So I'm pretty impressed. Hopefully they will add console Xbox support, because I think that's a big miss. Because I think a lot of people who are using, currently using an Xbox controller would really benefit to switching to the Yawman. So yeah, that's what I think for now. But guys, let me know what you think. What do you think? Do you think it's worth it to get a flight sim controller? I mean, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, remember you have 3 choices: give up, give in, and give it all you got. Peace, love, and God bless you. I'll see you guys next time, next video. I'm out.